All right, so the NFL will speak to Brown superstar receiver Odell Beckham Jr. about wearing a watch during Sunday's game versus Tennessee. The league says there are no rules prohibiting jewelry, but there is a policy prohibiting hard objects. OBJ wore a watch worth over $250,000 during that game. All right. Mark is still here with us. You're going to be with us the rest of the show. Fellow
Absolutely.
LSU alum there.
Absolutely.
What does this say?
Bling before the ring. That's what it said to me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's nothing serious. It's
like
it's
that
nothing
line, Stephen
serious.
A.
Please don't give. Listen, let me be very clear. It's nothing real serious. It's like, to his knowledge, he wasn't violating any rules because it's not against NFL rules to actually wear jewelry. You just can't wear, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Marcus, you can't wear anything sharp or something like that because, you know,
hard.
obviously,
You can't wear
because you cut somebody or whatever.
It's different. Hard items are still, they wear chains, which is still considered a hard item. So it's really an area the NFL doesn't really have a clear line on, to be honest.
Right.
All right, go ahead, though.
They don't have a clear line on it,
Yeah.
but all I'm saying is that we know it wasn't cheap. The watch was about $250K. We get all that. You see what I'm saying? But the only thing that made me laugh about it is that I have no clue whether I'm correct. All I can tell you is what I've seen. In all my years of watching the NFL, I've never seen a receiver catch a pass and something shiny was on his wrist like a watch. I never saw that. I never saw that. You see what I'm saying? And so at some point in time, again, I'm not knocking because I want to be very, very clear. Odell Beckham Jr., in my estimation, didn't do anything wrong. I'm just saying that it's just further evidence. You know, cats trying to step out, do little things to gather more and more attention, everything but win. At some point in time, when I watched Randy Moss on Sunday talking about Antonio Brown, he's like, I see all these headlines. Now handle your business. Go out there and ball and win. That's what he said. Go out there and ball and win. I know Odell Beckham Jr. is a superstar talent, Max. We all know that. You say that more than anybody. All right, go to Cleveland and handle your business. Once again, there's another headline generated by somebody on Cleveland that's got something to do with anything but winning.
Look.
We heard Baker Mayfield, he talking and biting the beer can at the Cleveland Indians game. We see Freddie Kitchens, he's stepping out, puffing out his chest and his stomach, even though I ain't want to talk. The bottom line is, he's sitting up there, he talking as a first-year head coach. We saw Jarvis Landry bite at the media. We've seen other players step up and bloviate about what they're going to do. We've seen everything but winning. All I'm saying is win.
Wearing a watch says about Odell is nothing. It doesn't say anything. It's no big deal.
Bling.
But
before the rings.
As you would say, we heard you. It says nothing about Odell. The fact that he wore the watch. Look, Nadal wore a watch and won the U.S. Open. But that's not a full contact sport. It's not against the rules. And
that's tennis.
And it's a one-on-one sport. That's the point.
Oh, my God. I played tennis. I wore a skirt.
Can I make my point?
Yes, sorry. I couldn't control myself.
But that's the point. It's not the same situation. You can't say bling before the ring because Nadal had the bling and won a championship, right? But it's a one-on-one sport. There's no one else relying on you. And on top of that, it wouldn't be a big deal either, except it's against the rules. I have no problem with him wearing the watch. And then once it's identified as you can't do that, which I'll bet he didn't know. No one's thinking about that. Okay, fine. So you take it off. No big deal. Here is what my problem is with Odell Beckham Jr. He then tweeted, if it ain't one thing, it's another. Hold on, Odell. You violated a rule. It's no big deal, and no one's making a big deal out of it. So now you take it off, no problem. And guys like me will be telling guys like Stephen A., man, calm down. He wore a watch. Who cares? He found out it was against the rules. He took it off. But you can't just take off the watch without a comment. You have to say if it ain't one thing, it's another. No one's doing this to you, and it's no big deal. You did this. You put on the watch, and now it's identified as against the rules, and it's a simple thing. Oh, didn't know. Take it off. Done. Why must there? I understand it's not pegged to the watch, the comment, if it ain't one thing, it's another. But what are we supposed to think when this happens and then you make that comment? Just stop. Take off the watch. No harm, no foul. I don't think wearing the watch in the first place says anything.
I'm so disappointed. All right. And it's because you guys are not looking at what this is. What this is now, we're venturing in territory, and you can correct me if I'm wrong or tell me how outlandish this is. I love OBJ. This is an LSU, I love the guy. Love what he does, love what he represents. A lot of people misunderstand him. But this particular situation, the fame and the branding is becoming too prevalent in his career. And I say that to say this. Everybody will not have the opportunities. Odell Beckham got $25 million from Nike, an unprecedented amount of money for a football player because of his brand, because of things he's done. I'm sure that this watch, wearing this Richard Mille, had something to do with them and a relationship with Odell Beckham Jr. for sure.
Even though they denied it.
But even though they did,
right.
Yeah. The issue that I have with this, and call me old school or not, the issue that I have with this is that this is something that we're talking about other than the game. And that seems to continue to be the narrative with OBJ on a lot of situations that we've discussed. It's just like when I talked about Baker Mayfield. Keep other dudes' name out of your mouth. We won't talk about the stories that come behind that. So it's not necessarily about the watch. It's really about OBJ, his branding, his fame, and it's starting to take effect in what he's trying to do on the field. And if you're not playing at that top tier, these are the type of conversations people are going to start to have, just like when they took the cruise before the playoffs.
Well, Marcus, I don't understand how that's any different. You might have elaborated more extensively, but that's basically what I'm saying with the bling before the ring. I don't mean literally the bling. I'm just using that metaphorically because I'm saying headlines, you understand, attention grabbing, star-studded status, that kind of stuff being priority over actually winning. And again, Max, I don't come at me, Max, like I'm sitting here losing sleep over the damn thing. You asked me a question, I gave you an answer. I think it's funny. It's no big deal to me. I just told you what came to my mind when they presented the question. And that's what it is.
For me, it's not about winning. For me, it's not about winning. For me, it's about OBJ opening himself up to this conversation, to everybody assuming that this brand and the idea of OBJ is bigger. So for me, it ain't about a ring. It's a lot of great NFL players that haven't won a championship that were highly marketable and did what they did. It's a lot of those.
But all I mean by that is that what do you play for, technically speaking? What do you play for you're trying to win? Now, we do see, guys, admit this, what we're really alarmed by is that we see a lot of cats playing in professional sports. It's not that they're not trying to win. It's that losing don't appear to hurt as much as it should.
I hear that, but
am I lying, Marcus?
Marcus, were you a winning player? Do you consider yourself a winning player?
No, in order to be a winning player, you had to win a chip.
But did you think of yourself as a valuable contributor to a team?
Yeah.
Like a team is smart to get Marcus Spears, right? Okay. If some company approached you and said, hey, there's a business opportunity if you wear this during the game, you don't know if it's legal or it's not even a little trinket, would you put it on, yes or no?
No.
You wouldn't put it on?
No.
I'd put it on.
No.
I wouldn't.
I'd put it on. No. Why not? How do you know it's going to be a distraction? Why would it be a distraction?
Max, it's not about it being. Y'all are missing the point that I'm trying to give. It's not about winning.
I get it.
We're not talking about championships. This is particular to Odell Beckham Jr. Mm-hmm. These are the conversations that we continue to have. It's not about football with Odell Beckham Jr. Well, when you wear a $250,000 watch, Max, in the game, some people will take that as this game is creating these opportunities, and because you're good at it, you're doing it, but now it's starting to overshadow what you really out there and supposed to be doing.
Overshadowing, like
the reason they saw it. It did overshadow. The Browns got stomped. They got embarrassed by the Titans.
We're not talking about the Cleveland Browns football team. We're not talking about the offense.
Right now after that game?
We're talking about the watch.
Max. Yeah. Hey, Max. I've been offered opportunities to do things on a public platform that I thought would be counter to what
As
ESPN
have I.
would want me to do.
Stephen A. As have
exactly.
I. But
and what did we? Hold on. What you asked the question? But you asked the question. If you had an opportunity to do this, you would have put it on, and Marcus said no, and I said no.
The nature of this is not so offensive. Because it's against the rules, he should simply take it off. What I don't like is his tweet saying if it's not one thing, it's another, as though he's being persecuted somehow. He is
They're
not.
always the
but
victim.
putting on
They're
a
always
watch
the
is
victim.
no big deal as long as you take it off.
It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But I
if
just
it
said
wasn't
bling,
against
bling,
the
bling.
rules, if it wasn't against rules, if the NFL didn't say anything, it wouldn't be an issue right now.
It's not the act, Max. It's the lineage of things.
You're saying because Odell, it's an adding up?
Yes.
And don't think thought didn't go into that. It matches the uniform.
Right. So we having a discussion right now about Odell wearing a $250,000 watch.
And it's publicity for the watch, of
course. It's publicity for the watch. Is that not right now overshadowing the Cleveland Browns football team?
Overshadowing?
Yes.
No.
Right now in this moment.
But yesterday there was much talk about the bad performance of Cleveland. And had they won, there'd be much talk about the good performance. This is day 2 after we've already talked about them. And oh, by the way, he has to take off a watch.
Listen, maybe next week he should wear a chain to cover up the bad performance.
Nobody,
we'll talk about that.
Nobody is sleeping on the fact that it ain't really a big deal.
Put the dangly cross earring back in. All right, let's leave it there. Dak Prescott impresses in his season debut, but would it be smart for Jerry Jones to make him wait before giving him a new deal?